Okay, so it has been a minute since I done did these types of videos. And with that being said, why not bring it back to a Pacific icon who I've reacted to plenty of times on this channel, and that's Michael Jackson. If you guys don't know, I am a big Michael Jackson fan, and this popped up on my feed about 2 days ago, and I saw about a good 10 minutes of it, and I said, you know what, I have to do a reaction to this, because it's been a while since I did these types of videos where I must split it up into a series, right? We exposed who really killed Michael Jackson. I kid you not. When Michael Jackson passed away, I was in about the first or second grade when he passed away. But I remember that day. The whole world stopped when he passed away. Now, throughout the years, a lot of stuff came out after he died and such like that. You know, not gonna get too much into it. They probably gonna talk about it here. But we exposed who really killed Michael Jackson. Listen, there's a reason why I wanted to make this a series on this channel and bring these types of videos back. All right, because just the first 10 minutes alone, I'm just like, yeah, I want you guys to react to this with me. Watch this with me, okay? So sit back, relax, grab your popcorn. Let's enjoy. All right, now let's get it.
My brother, legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday.
Michael Jackson died June 25th, 2009 from a drug overdose.
The district attorney has charged Dr. Conrad Murray with involuntary manslaughter.
Guilty.
Dr. Conrad Murray was held solely responsible for Michael's death.
The court imposes the high term of 4 years imprisonment in this case.
Now, the lead detective in the case says Dr. Murray was just the last doctor of many left holding the bag.
There's a lot of folks who are to blame that have never had a reckoning.
Doctors like Arnold Klein, who regularly plied Michael with powerful opioids.
Massive doses of Demerol were utilized for something that generally doesn't require anything other than maybe a topical anesthetic.
Michael's ex-wife, Debbie Rowe, worked for Dr. Klein for years and says her ex-boss was a real-life Dr. Feelgood.
There's a number of people that have died from their addictions, and in some way I was part of it. Give me a minute.
Oh man, that's sad, bro. That's sad. Hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. Hold up.
Turns out Klein was just one of many doctors who put Michael on a fatal path.
All of these different medical professionals that have allowed Michael to get the medicines he wanted, all of them are the reason why he's dead today.
I've taken a lot of blame that was not right, but regardless,
Yeah, now, you know what? Now really thinking about it, what this man went through, this dude right here, that had to been a lot of a burden. A lot. Just, whoa.
I will always love Michael.
Who really killed Michael Jackson? It's my profession.
Who really killed Michael Jackson?
I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir. We have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing. We're trying to pump him, but he's not. Okay.
We quickly learned from a couple of sources that he went into cardiac arrest.
He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center.
So we started getting word from our sources that Michael Jackson was dead. Dead at the house. So it was really weird that they still rushed him down to UCLA Medical Center. And it was just after 2 in the afternoon that we posted the story. Michael Jackson had died.
TMZ broke the story of his transfer to the hospital this afternoon. The reports we are hearing from TMZ that the era of the King of Pop is over.
TMZ was the first to report this, that Michael Jackson had died.
Michael! Michael!
My brother, the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday, June 25th.
Drug enforcement agents, Las Vegas and Los Angeles police officers raided the Las Vegas home of Dr. Conrad Murray. A law enforcement source tells CBS News the investigation is centered around the powerful anesthetic propofol.
But that's the thing, that looks like milk. You know what I mean? Just, and plus, besides that, I've been told so many stories from people of the day when Michael Jackson died, and everybody's story, bro, like, it's mind-boggling, like, for real. Like, even they would tell you, like, dude, the whole world stopped when he passed away. Like,
the district attorney has charged Dr. Conrad Murray with involuntary manslaughter in the pop star's death. The coroner ruled Jackson's death a homicide.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Conrad Robert Murray, guilty of the crime of involuntary manslaughter.
Dr. Conrad Murray may have been the final straw, but it was a straw that broke the camel's back. This was decades in the making. The reality is a bunch of doctors got Michael addicted, kept him addicted, connived with him to keep him strung out. And the fact is, his death, it was almost inevitable.
It's a lot more complicated than just Dr. Murray was at his bedside when he died. Circumstances had been leading up to this death for years. And all of these different medical professionals that allowed Michael to dictate his own terms.
Just imagine, I can't even imagine that. You just, that's a tough job, bro. You gotta be a different breed. Just to wheel around a dead body, just a deceased body, you gotta be a different breed, bro. That's I respect to those guys, bro. And imagine that's Michael Jackson that you're wheeling right there. Just, whoa.
Get the medicines he wanted, when he wanted them, where he wanted them. All of them are the reason why he's dead today.
Look at all that.
My name is Orlando Martinez.
Wait, hold on, like, bro, just look at all that.
Are the reason why he's dead today.
I mean, this is his bedroom, right? We also know he has a big house. Like, you see, like, this is what? This is the type of stuff that I see. This right here. This is the type of stuff that you see. That my grandmama be having. Like, once upon a time, my grandma used to have something like this little tank right here. And but all of this, like, just look at this. Like, look at that. Look. Wow.
My name is Orlando Martinez. I am a detective with the Los Angeles Police Department, Robbery Homicide Division. I was one of the lead investigators in the Michael Jackson death investigation case. I'd been a police officer for 27 and a half years. At first, it was just the death investigation. We thought it was natural causes. When I went to the house, nothing was really setting off alarm bells. As soon as I got into the room where he was being treated or being cared for, that's when my spidey sensor, my experience told me something is different here.
So from the start, we had heard that Michael was being fueled with drugs. Frankly, we knew this because he was going to a Beverly Hills dermatologist named Arnold Klein just about every day in the 2 months leading up to his death. And he would go in there for about 3 to 4 hours. And when he came out, it was absolutely bizarre. We had these videos of him interacting with fans and paparazzi, and he looked like a zombie.
Do you like the dome, Michael? What do you think of the dome? Yeah, I love it. All right, come on, guys. I want one. I'm going to the airport. I'll see you soon. Okay.
The day
He be in there for 3 to 4 hours. Just 3 to 4 hours. Just imagine Like, it's like you can't even imagine. Just like 3 or 4 hours is a long time. It is.
After Jackson's death, the coroner went to the house, and that was the first time we heard about propofol.
My name is Ed Winter. I was the assistant chief for the Los Angeles County Department of Coroner. I was there just under 17 years. I oversaw the high-profile cases, and I was called out the day that Michael Jackson was found unresponsive, was transported to the hospital, and passed away. We were able to recover large, I describe it almost as Gatorade-sized bottles of propofol.
Gatorade-sized?
Dr. Drupinski, I'm aboard.
Gatorade-sized? That's how big those bottles were? That's insane.
Bottles of propofol in the residence.
I'm Dr. Drupinski. I'm a board-certified internist and addiction medicine specialist. I'm a fellow at the American College of Physicians. I was the program medical director for a chemical dependency unit at Las Encinas Hospital. Let me be clear. Propofol is not a sleep medication. It's an anesthetic. You are completely shut down while you're on that medication. You are not going through normal sleep cycles, restorative sleep. You are on a profound anesthetic. The fact that that was stored and administered in a private residence, not specifically in a hospital or surgical center, can't imagine how that happened.
So basically what he's saying is propofol, when you take propofol, it's beyond sleep. It's like you're dang near, your whole body is so shut down. You're just like you dang near almost meeting your maker. That's basically how I just interpreted that. And he literally just said that type of medicine should be stored in hospitals. It shouldn't be at no residence houses. Like, that's how lethal that drug is.
There's a place called Applied Pharmacy Services, which was in Las Vegas. Over the course of April, May, and June, they shipped over 4 gallons worth of propofol to Dr. Murray's girlfriend's house for him to use to help keep Michael Jackson asleep every single night. I mean, it's amazing that Mr. Jackson hadn't passed away sooner.
Dr. Murray told cops propofol was nothing new in Michael's life.
One of the things that Dr. Murray told us was that Michael had an affinity for the propofol, which he called milk, because it's a white liquid, and that Michael had been using it to help him get rest and get sleep for years since he had discovered it in Europe. Dr. Murray said that he had a couple of doctors in Europe that would travel with him and provide him this drug to help him sleep. Dr. Murray took over from a doctor who had taken over from other doctors, basically allowing Mr. Jackson to dictate his own treatment, to use the drug that he preferred to help him get his rest.
You feel like you've been unjustly accused with Michael Jackson? Because a lot of people feel like you're not guilty. I'm not guilty.
Dr. Murray felt that if he did not help and administer it to Mr. Jackson, that Michael would just go somewhere else to get it. He needed it. He knew about the drug. He knew that it worked for him, and was the one who suggested it to Dr. Murray, actually demanded it.
It was in the last couple of months you were contacted, right, initially by Amir and for this tour.
2 months.
In the last couple months.
2 months.
Okay, you've administered it more than 10 times.
Yes.
More than 20 times.
30 days a month, roughly, every day.
Oh, so it's about the daily.
But daily, with the exception of 3 days leading up to his death, I tried to wean him off that medication.
The criminalist who advised me that the
That is sad.
toxicology was showing a extremely large amount of propofol in Michael's system, and that, in his words, he said there was enough propofol in him to put down a rhinoceros. Michael Jackson died of acute propofol intoxication and I believe cardiac arrest.
Enough propofol? Michael Jackson had enough propofol in his system that can put down a whole rhinoceros? You know how big a rhinoceros is? Just, hold on. Let's run that.
There was enough propofol in him to put down a propofol in Michael's system, a extremely large amount of propofol in Michael's system, and that in his words, he said, there was enough propofol in him to put down a rhinoceros. Michael Jackson died of acute propofol intoxication and I believe cardiac arrest.
I am Conrad Murray, a subspecialist in cardiology. I was Michael's personal physician at the latter part of his life. The trial was clearly unjust. We first could not call any witnesses that we were interested in, many of whom were doctors that had treated Michael for years and years, decades, with opioids. I never did that.
One of the spokes in Michael Jackson's wheel was a Beverly Hills doctor by the name of Dr. Arnold Klein. We will not be able to call Dr. Klein as a witness or his staff.
I never enabled his addiction, which I was not aware of. Your Honor, I am an innocent man. They accused me of having Michael on a 3-hour propofol infusion. That was false.
Like,
No doubts. That's why we're here.
Michael was watching over us. He was watching over us. Yes, very happy. The judge denied Murray bail and sent him straight to jail.
The judge is really throwing the book at him.
like, can you just like the burden and the weight and the hate that that man got, bro? Like, it's words can't even describe. Like,
the court imposes the high term of 4 years imprisonment in this case.
I stayed in the Los Angeles jail for 2 years. I lived in a 7 by 5 feet cell. It was a shattering experience. I was mostly decimated with grief and pain. I lost just about most of what I had set up for my retirement, for my children's future, for a home, my livelihood.
1994.
Michael's down.
Like, let's just go back for a second. Like, dude, like, dude had his whole life set. Like, and just an incident like that, and automatically all the blame is pointed towards you, and you lose almost everything that you worked for. Especially the stuff that can pass down to your kids, that can set them up for success, like have them go to college, you know, and like just that's sad, bro. It is.
The spiral all started when he filmed a Pepsi commercial in 1984. He was on stage as the director called for pyrotechnics to go off all around him. They did take after take after take. Finally, on take 6, they pushed a little too hard, and Michael ended up in harm's way. The pyrotechnics went off, and the flames were licking right at Michael's hair. It caught on fire. It was a horrific scene.
Oh, look at his head. Ugh. I know that had to hurt.
Singer Michael Jackson is back home tonight after suffering burns to his head last night during the filming of a Pepsi TV commercial. Jackson was dismissed from the hospital today against the advice of his doctor.
He has both second and third degree burns of the scalp. Fortunately, the third degree component is relatively small.
Michael's injuries were horrendous. Doctors used balloons to stretch his skin, and honestly, he never fully recovered, and that's when he got hooked on painkillers. Keep in mind, this is 1984, a full quarter century before he died, and he became profoundly addicted to pain meds.
It is completely appropriate for Michael Jackson to receive opiates for a burn. He shouldn't suffer. He should get the necessary pain medication.
So he's been doing this since the Thriller album. Yeah, that addiction is no joke.
But to go for months or even years afterwards on opioid pain medications is ridiculous. And there was an excessive enthusiasm in my profession for the prescribing of opiates.
So there's a vicious cycle going on here. The more Michael Jackson recorded hits, the more he toured, and the worse his addiction became. For example, he recorded Thriller. That became the biggest selling album of all time, and that created an insatiable appetite on the part of his fans to want to see him in concert.
He made a quick dash for the goal.
This was the scene last night as people arrived plenty early for the long-awaited, sold-out Michael Jackson concert.
Michael! I love Michael Jackson. It's fantastic. I love him so much.
And there was also the victory.
That's the thing, bro. He was so famous around the world. This was way before the internet. Michael Jackson was so famous. He was known on everywhere, all 7 continents. Before the internet. If you had to go and get his music, you actually had to leave your house and go to the record store and buy the album. You know, we got it so easier. We got it so beneficially, easier today because we got these. You know what I mean? Everything's live streamed now and such. But what I'm saying is back then, this was before the internet, that the level of fame, what I'm trying to say, that Michael Jackson had back then was, it's insane, mind-boggling. For real, dude didn't even have a childhood.
Tour, which was the farewell tour for the Jackson 5. And Michael didn't even want to do that tour.
When I do those solo albums and I'm doing all kinds of different music, it's wonderful. I feel like I'm accomplishing what I'm supposed to do.
And you don't feel guilty or worried about your brothers?
No.
But there was so much family pressure. His mom eventually convinced him to do it, and that just made a bad addiction worse.
It happened about an hour ago in Kansas City, the start of what's being billed as the biggest traveling musical show in American history. Some people say that it's more like what happened 20 years ago when the Beatles first played Kansas City. But most of Michael Jackson's fans are too young to remember that. For them, this is the biggest moment in their lives.
And that was followed by the Bad Tour. 16 months of grueling performing and traveling. And by the time the Dangerous Tour hit, Michael was a mess.
When I look at somebody like Michael, I've seen him, the lights have gone out on stage, and he's fallen to the floor in the darkness. Somebody comes out, gives him oxygen, the lights come up, and he's right back, ready to hit it.
He was said to be taking off stage after every second song.
He started canceling tour dates for various illnesses before he just pulled the plug on the entire tour.
Jackson canceled a Friday show in Caracas, Venezuela, and shows scheduled for Sunday and Tuesday in Puerto Rico, and all future dates on the Dangerous Tour.
So here's what was going on behind the scenes. Michael graduated from pain meds to anesthesia. He used it to sleep, and he became shockingly reliant on it. A lot of people were saying privately, Michael's addictions and the cancellation of the Dangerous Tour were directly connected.
Hold on, let me see. The following video is from the 2013 disposition of Dr. Stard Finkelstein, physician for the Dangerous Tour. Okay.
I attempted to give him a
shot of Demerol, but his buttocks was so scarred up and abscessed that the needle almost bent, in which case at that point in time I ran an IV and I administered some IV pain medication.
And do you recall what IV pain medication you administered?
Morphine.
Michael was on the Dangerous Tour in 1993 in Bangkok.
Bro, all of those drugs, all of those medications, all of those drugs, bro, like, just, I can't, you just, bro, like, I can't even put into words, like, just how insane that is. Like, just how you just can't really you can't really comprehend all those. Like, we're only 16 minutes in, and you know how many medications and drugs were just mentioned? Like, and they said this has been going on since the Thriller album. It said 1984, but the Thriller album came out in 1992, I believe. And then, like, it's been going on for a minute, and then they said when he got to the Dangerous album, he looked like a mess, like, you know, when he changed his skin and such like that. I wonder, I know he had a skin disease and he bleached his skin, but did that medication affect him a little bit to take it to the extreme where his skin didn't really need to go all that extreme? You get what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stop it at the 20-minute mark. Then I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna make a part 2.
And that's when he asked Dr. Finkelstein to shoot him up with Demerol.
After I took care of Mr. Jackson and he went on stage, another doctor from England came and assumed responsibility for Mr. Jackson. I came back from a trip to the pyramids, and my suitcase, of which I had all my medications in, was broken into. At that time, the doctor, told me that he had broken into my suitcase to get medications.
What specific medication?
Whoa.
At that time, the doctor...
Did I hear that right? Hold on.
All my medication, trip to, and assumed responsibility for Mr. Jackson. I came back from a trip to the pyramids, and my suitcase, of which I had all my medications in, was broken into. At that time, the doctor, told me that he had broken into my suitcase to get medications.
What specific medication did you break into your suitcase to get?
The pain meds. I don't recall if it was Demerol or morphine or both.
Okay. And did he break in to get the pain medication to give it to Mr. Jackson?
Yes. We thought that we needed to do an intervention. He needed to be detoxed. They called in Elizabeth Taylor to do an intervention.
When Michael's doctor called to ask if I could help, I was glad to intervene. I traveled to Mexico City, where I saw for myself that Michael was in desperate need of specialized medical attention. Because of my own experience with addiction to prescription medicines, I was able to make a number of calls in search of the best and most appropriate treatment for Michael, and he is now undergoing such treatment in Europe.
Michael was in such bad shape, he knew he needed help.
Superstar recording artist Michael Jackson says he is canceling the rest of his world concert tour because he's addicted to painkillers.
Superstar Michael Jackson is now in a drug clinic somewhere.
As you may already know, after my tour ended, I remain out of the country undergoing treatment for a dependency on pain medication. This medication was initially prescribed to see the excruciating pain that I was suffering after recent reconstructive surgery on my scalp.
Oh, wow.
I became increasingly more dependent on the painkillers to get me through the days of my tour. My friends and doctors advised me to seek professional guidance immediately in order to eliminate what has become an addiction. It is time for me to acknowledge my need for treatment in order to regain my health.
It was really only after this we could see the pattern. The overwork, the cancellations. In hindsight, it was so clear.
All these pills were from doctors. He got heavy-duty, very, very strong painkillers, and he took them, unfortunately. He was barely able to function adequately on an intellectual level.
You okay, Mr. Jackson? You want to take a break?
My mouth hurts.
Oh.
Mr. Jackson, at the break, did you find it necessary to take a pain medication?
Do I find it necessary?
Did you, at the break, did you...
Look at him, man.
Yes.
Painkillers were one thing, but Michael had
We're gonna
even bigger problems. He couldn't sleep, especially when he was on tour or getting ready for tour. So he went to doctors for help, and it turns out Conrad Murray was late to the game.
He said, Conrad, you know, when I'm on this course, when I'm on the tour, I have difficulty sleeping. And what most doctors have done for me, they help me to sleep for 15 to 18 hours. Michael was using propofol to sleep. He had mentioned that that was the only way he could go to sleep, especially when he was getting ready for a tour.
I'm always writing potpourri of music.
Hey, we're gonna stop it right here, cause I don't want this video to be too long. I'm gonna split this series into 2 to 3 parts. How it goes, most likely 3 or 4. But yeah, man, post comments down below. Let me know what you all think right now. Let me know what you all think so far. Yeah, man, just like, you guys don't know, Michael Jackson, he never really had a childhood. He's been famous ever since he was like, what, 4 or 5, so like 5, 6, 7 years old, and he's been doing music ever since till he died, you know, and he's been famous all the way till he passed away. Like can you just imagine like never having a childhood and constantly having that much famous and fans, but then the overload with the music, like the shows, like the rehearsing, and then the making music, and then of course the outside noise that's pouring in, you know, his court cases and lawsuits and stuff like that, and other smack talks, like he's changing his skin, looks like an alien, and to add that, the painkillers that he's taken ever since the scalp incident, even Michael knew it was bad. He had to cancel his own tour. Keep in mind, we're talking about literally possibly the biggest artist probably in history in music. Like, it's like, you saw this clip, like it looked like dude, you saw how out of it he was.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you want to take a break?
My mouth hurts.
Man, you see how out of it he is, man. Just, yeah, man. Comment down below for a part 2. And let me know what you guys think. There's gonna be a part 2 regardless, part 3 or 4, you know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. My book, The Prodigy, is out now. The description down below, 1, 2, and 3. Lakira is out as well. Announcement is coming soon. And please leave a like, subscribe, and share. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. I love you guys. God bless.